trying to get to where it's not all over there. This is the last night for this blanket. I will not be casting it off tonight. I just, you know, I don't want to have it on here any longer. But we are almost done with this blanket. I only have like 6 more stripes left, and that's not including the one that I'm working on. So, yeah. So I hope you guys have had an awesome day. I gotta run through this black so I can get back to red because I won't have to count red on live. Let me fix that camera. Fix it a little bit more. If I finish wrapping this. What's my neck? My neck acting up tonight. That'll be alright. Hi, Pepsi. Thank you. I appreciate that. Hi, Kathleen. Hello from the U.S., from the southern part of the U.S. Hi, Bernie. I'm just doing an E stitch or the stockinette stitch, and it just comes out that way. I'm just wrapping the peg counterclockwise. I'm not doing anything extra special. I'm just doing one stitch. I'm trying to get this blanket done fast, so I'm just doing one. Thanks so much for the likes. I appreciate it. Hi, Maytip. Uh-oh, I want to pick that part of that stitch. I'm thinking about how I'm going to drop this blanket because I cannot lift it up. So my husband is going to have to drop it for me. He's going to have to be in more videos than he thought. If he said he wanted to start doing videos together, and I think if he's listening now, I'm going to need him to put this blanket on a video. Thanks so much for the likes. I appreciate it. It's not working that way. But this is close enough. Hi, Kathleen. I hope everyone speaks too. Hi, everyone, because I know I spoke to Kathleen earlier. Y'all excuse my hi, second Kathleen, and both of you guys are Kathleen P. Thank you, Sheree. I appreciate that so much. Thank y'all so much for the likes. Yes, definitely. If you like what you see, hit that subscribe button and tap the screen. I just realized this will be the first blanket I cannot do. I can't drop myself, so I'm gonna have some assistance dropping this blanket because it's gonna be too heavy for me to do. So I'm gonna what I typically do is roll it up, and I went and ordered a step ladder on Amazon, so I'm gonna use that to. I was gonna use it to make myself even taller, but it'll work for my husband too, cause he's really, he's just 5'9" and I'm 5'4", so and this blanket's gonna be 7 feet tall, so I just let him drop it for me instead of me dropping it. He said something about assisting me more in videos anyway, so thank you, Kathleen. Thank y'all so much for the likes. I appreciate it. I gotta remember this is row 5 of 10, so I put a stitch mark on this row. But yeah, can't drop it. I'm not gonna name it because I'm gonna put my kids' names on them though. I'm gonna make two duplicate. Well, another one like this, and I'm just gonna Hi, Uzi. Thank you. And I'm just gonna put their names on it. They both like the color red, so I'm gonna put their names on it. And this is a Christmas gift. So I'm trying to get ahead of Christmas. I tried to anyway. I'm doing all E stitch. I usually do different stitches, but for these, because they're gifts, well, for this one, because it's a gift, I'm just doing all E stitch. And I'm gonna crochet a border. My hope is that the crochet border would, work it. Help me work the edge up quicker. So I'm gonna do it in double crochet. Right, what you said is very crazy. I'm also thinking of other people that I can make gifts for. I'm just like, slow down, me. You might not be able to do all that. Ooh, good luck, good luck. It's not like it's a lot, but for me, it'll be a lot. Because I'll be like, gosh darn, am I still making squares? Thank you, Michelle. I made some squares, some granny squares that was supposed to be part of a backpack. I finished the square, never made the backpack. Because I was like, oh my gosh. One of these days I'll stop tripping and go finish it. The squares are everywhere now. I don't even know where half of them are. Thanks so much for the likes. I appreciate it. Okay, Sheree, thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate you. I'm making a 5 foot by 7 blanket. Yeah, 5 foot by 7 foot blanket. You gotta grab one of these stitch markers behind. Let me borrow you and put you right up in here. I let too much yarn fall down in there. What am I pulling on? What am I doing? What am I doing? Oh, okay. I see what I'm doing now. All that goes down under here. I don't know how I did all that. That rarely happens. No, I don't have much to do. I got well, for me, I don't have much to do, but I got like six more stripes to do. And to make it sound even better, I'm saying like three more sections to do because that works better for me to like feel like I don't have that much left. Hey, your average air cadet. I'm making a 5 foot by 7 foot blanket. I gotta go and finish this up for Christmas so I can make a second one. And I normally only make two of these a year. I mean one of these a year, so I'm like I need to go and finish this because I'm pushing it very close to Christmas. Hi Tanya. Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, Jasper. So I got like a just a couple more months to squeeze in a second one, and I usually finish these in 4 to 6 weeks. And I started this one back in February, but I haven't been feeling well, so it's been taking me really long to do this than usual. Like the previous years, I whip up one in like 6 weeks real quick, but it's just been really difficult this year. So after I finish these two, I don't know if I'm gonna start another one until maybe February again, because that'll put me like taking a break from it. They do require a lot of work. I thought I wanted to finish that one right there. I almost snagged a little bit. Hi, Lucas. Excuse me. I ain't getting heavy to move. You you cut the yarn that you want to stop, and then you create a slip knot and put the yarn where you cut. Like let's say right here, I cut this yarn because this is where I stopped wrapping it. I'm just gonna create another slip knot and put it on this peg and start back wrapping again. And then once you knit off the bottom color, it'll lock in the new color. I'll be able to do it before I get off live. It's really easy and simple. Hi, Jamie. Now, if I were doing like solid colors, I'll do like a magic knot and add color or extend the yarn. But since I'm not doing like the same colors, I have to do a slip knot each time and put it back on the loom. Hi, Jamie. Thank you, Jamie. Two Jamies in here. Thank you, Jamies. There's two Kathys in here earlier. That's so funny. Thank you, Jasper. I had to remember your name. I was like, wait, what did you tell me? It's gonna take me a little minute to get used to it. I'm making a 5 foot by 7 foot blanket. Thanks so much for the like, Shaw. I appreciate it. I'm gonna pull that red down through there. Make it disappear a little bit. Thanks so much for the likes. I appreciate it. Hi, Kathleen. And I'm not letting it pull from the skein, just to make sure people know that I'm actually controlling the tension with this hand. From Amazon. It's called KB Afghan Loom. I also got the link in my bio. But I use this hand to hold the yarn to make sure that it's not the tension is not too tight while I'm wrapping. And then I also, pull it with my hand. No problem, Alexis. Okay, Jasper, thank you so much for coming in and hanging out with me again. I appreciate you. And then when you see me doing this, I'll start kind of over here. I'm borrowing some tension. I'm loosening up the tension for this knit off so that I don't accidentally break a peg. Thank you, Alexis. It's an empty pen. Yeah, it's just an empty pen. Let me grab my other one sitting over here. I got a couple of. I took the one off of this one, but they're all the same pen. So yeah, they actually have a lumen pen, but I wasn't that excited about it. Thank you, Jamie. This is the actual lumen pen by Boy. I'm missing a little hoop thing that comes. It's a little hoop thing that grabs the yarn and feeds it through. And this is the tension thing on it. I really don't like it. So I hardly ever use this. I always reach for my hollowed out pens. And you can also use a straw. So if you don't feel like, cause they're they're um they're a little tough to take apart. So if you struggle with like arthritis and stuff like that, you may want to like um, use a straw because you can just cut straws. But I really like the pen. I do struggle with arthritis, but before it got bad, I had already hollowed out my pens, and I can always ask somebody else to do it too. But I got like 6 of them, so I can have like several projects going at a time. Or when I decide to change colors, I like to already have my pen on the color so that I can just pick it up and um do my slip knot and that's it. Cause I don't like changing colors. I feel like it slows me down, so I have to stop. So looms don't come with the wrapping tool. There's a few that do, but most of them will not come with with a wrapping tool. They'll come with a few patterns and this hook, and that's about it. Let me put this pen back in here because I like to keep it tucked because it'll just slide all over the table. Three more rows, now I'll be changing colors, and so that'll make I'll be doing that in about 15, 20 more minutes, providing that I'm able to like just keep working without having to um show it off and all that stuff. And so also, I keep forgetting to mention if you don't have if you don't have stitch markers, you can also use like yarn, but you will need to use scrap yarn that's 5 weight or 6 weight because the if you use like the same yarn to put right here for your stitch marker, like a number 4 on with a number 4, it just slide through. So you can use yarn instead of buying stitch markers. And just lay a thick strand there. And I'll probably show y'all that real quick. I'm gonna grab me a thick strand of yarn. I got down here. See, I got a number 6. Well, I can't break that right now. I need, where's my scissors? Okay. Alright, so if I wanted to like count the row, instead of having a stitch marker. I could just lay it down right here. And when I knit off, I can put it in there better. So I'm gonna take it off right now. But when I knit off, I'll show y'all then. So then when you get done, all you gotta do is just pull it back out. I usually use the stitch marker so I can keep up with the count of how many rows I'm doing. I hope you pick it back up. The wrapping tool helped out a lot because I actually quit looming for a couple of years because when I was just getting started, I kept breaking the pegs because I was wrapping with my hand and I couldn't control the tension. And so having this pen has helped a ton. So I actually loom knit a lot, and to say that I've only broken like 3 pegs in the past 5 years is saying a lot compared to when I first started. In just a couple of months, I was breaking like 3 or 5 pegs. So yeah, it helps out a lot. It helps with tension and everything. Right, right, Kathleen. Now the only thing with the pen is it only really works for double knit and E stitch. If you're doing E stitch, you have to like find some way to block it. So I normally do a border to keep it from curling on the edges. But with double knit, you don't have to block anything. So it's really only good for double knit and stockinette stitch. So that's why I like using the long looms a lot because I can still use the pen. And then for the most part, like 90% of, if you double knit, 90% of your work is done once you take it off the loom. All you have to do is hide like 2 strands, and they're really short. So depending on how much of a strand that you leave out. So I'll be showing that next week. I'm gonna be making twisted headbands and and we can probably double knit some scarves on another day. I just gotta figure out what yarn I want to use because I don't really have a whole lot of yarn for the looms, the wide gauge looms that I have. I normally don't buy number 5 yarn, so I need to do better at that. Last year, I focused on buying bamboo yarn, so that's what had my attention. That'd be too cute. I think your 3-year old should be able to do it. Or if not, I think they say you can start them at 5. But the longer they practice, they'll get the hang of it. Cause it's just if you're just doing E-stitch, it's just really wrapping the peg. Um, he'll be sewing before you know it. Then I wish I would have like I didn't start back crafting until my kids were older. So if I would have been crafting when they were young, I probably could have got them like into it. But they're not into it. Hi Eric, I'm making a 5 foot by 5 feet by 7 feet blanket. I got 2 more rows of black, y'all, and then I'll change it to red. Thank you. From Amazon, it's called KB Afghan Loom. I also have the link in my bio. Awesome. That's awesome. See, mine, yeah, I wasn't even. I guess at the time when I started crafting, I was just trying to find something for me at that time. I just really wish I would have included my kids because I tried to include them like a couple of years ago during the pandemic, and they were like, "Nope." Just like this is the pandemic. This is like the time to be learning something, like physically learning something and not sitting on a game the whole time. They didn't want to do that. Yeah, that sound about right for right now. Anyway, they're in off season, so it's like 49.99 if I'm not mistaken. And then when it gets closer to Christmas, they'll go up about $10 or so. They'll go up to like 59. Oops. I know because I watched them last year. Because I already had three and I wasn't interested in buying anymore. But others were like, how much does it cost? And I noticed at one point it was 49. Then when they were still asking, it got up to 60. I got my first one, first two, I think, from Joann's. Joann's used to carry them too. And I got my first one 50% off and my second one 40% off. I got the first one 50% off because it was a glitch online, and so sent me a $50 coupon. Oh, thank you, Jamie. You have to push the little bell. I think it's somewhere near the subscribe button. Oh, look, don't let me talk about. Don't let me talk about how many actual looms I have, but I have like three of these and that really long green one or a pink one or blue one, have whatever color that you get on Amazon. They're green. I meant they're pink or blue, but the ones on Michael's are green. So I got technically like four of these, and then I got like 20 to 30 some odd other looms to add to it. So some of them I don't even use. I wouldn't touch again probably, and some of them I actually need. And I bought like four more last year, and then I was given like a flexi loom type one where you can adjust the pegs and stuff. You can add them, take them off. You can make the loom longer or shorter, however you would like. And then there's one like you can turn it to a heart and all that stuff, and I'm not quite familiar with it yet because I just don't know how my hands would handle um, trying to. I saw a little red spot on the table. Trying to put them together. So I haven't really been trying to put them together. But I got a lot of different size looms for like, different things that I want to do. I said I was gonna get into making hoodies, like more so like stockings, not like can't think of the. I guess they call them. stockings or whatever that you hang on the fireplace, something similar to those for Christmas. Right, agreed. They are. They are very flimsy. But I like the ones from Michaels. Not the really big green one from Michaels, but I like the round ones and long ones from Michaels because theirs is all one mold. So normally, the looms that I typically get, the pegs are glued in, but the ones from Michaels, theirs is all a part of the loom, so it's less flimsy. So I only buy like, and they're wide gauge. They're not like small gauge. So I only get my wide gauge ones from Michaels. I don't even go on Amazon and buy them there or Walmart. So that's one. Let's see where I'm at. One, two, three, four. All right, I got one more row to do. Um, darn. Yeah, so you'll probably just have to stick with the wood ones, maybe. I got a few wood ones. I actually like them, but they got plastic pegs in them. But I hear a lot of people say they have one with the iron something in them for the peg, so they don't even have to worry about the plastic part. Let's get this one more on here. Cause then once I make it to the red, I'm not gonna count. Cause I know I'm not gonna finish before I get off live, so I'm just gonna be wrapping and not putting stitch markers on. I did say I was gonna place that yarn right there so y'all can see what I was talking about, but I forgot. Wrap it twice. I'm trying to keep the screen out the way. Hi, Isabel. gotta remember, put that yarn in here. I said I was gonna cut that because I usually like cutting it because it's just gonna be in the way. Let me get my scissors. It's gonna be difficult to get out here. My bad, y'all. I like to leave a long enough tail. Okay, so before you knit that off, you want to remember to put this in there because if not, you'll have to thread it in there some kind of way. So I like to put it as close to the um, inside as I can because I can count my stitches by counting like that ladder. If y'all can see like that open space, I use that to count my stitches. So if you put it in between there, closer towards the inside of your blanket, then you'll be able to keep up with your rows better that way. And so then what I do is I tuck it down in between the pegs on the back and pull it down through there. Okay, try not to pull this out, and I just took this down through here. So if you don't have any stitch markers and you're trying to keep up with how many rows you did, You want to place this after you've completed your set of rows and while you're doing your next row. So if this would technically be my fifth row that's at the top. So what I would do is place my yarn here instead of where I place it, and then I would start my new row and place it in there as I knit off so it'll hold in there. But I'm getting ready to change colors so y'all can see that. Hi Eric. So, and all you do is just create a slip knot and just put it on there. Put it on the loom to start your new color. And I'm gonna want to pull this down into the loom so that it can be out the way. This part right here, pull that one down a little bit too, and over here. Okay, so I already have my yarn threaded over here. So I'm just gonna pull it over. It's wrapped around my charger. Hold on, give me just a second. Alright, so I already got it threaded. So you just wanna make a slip knot. Uh-oh. Place it on the peg where you cut your previous yarn at. So this is where I cut the previous yarn on this side. And you want to have your tail going on that side, or not, because I don't know if that makes a difference. And you want to put your slip knot on there, tuck your tail, and that's changing colors. That's it. Put your slip knot on there and just start back wrapping again. And once you knit off on this red, it'll lock the color in. And so you do have to tie a knot on the end where you cut the yarn at. So you will have to do that. But other than that, this is how you change colors. Now I could just sit here and wrap without having to count. Because I know I got to go up to 25, and I know I'm not going to be able to get to 25 rows of red before I get off 5. So I'm not going to count anything right now. And then knit that off. That locks in the red, and once I knit the rest of these off, that'll lock in the red. So the other thing about me making sure I cut that thread long, the yarn long on this end, is because when I knit this off, this is going to be very loose. So I don't want to accidentally um, pull off my stitch while I'm knitting off because I made it too short. So when I knit this off, you can pull on it to make it go back down. Or you can just pull it and make it go back. I'm gonna tuck it back down in there. And then so just knit off the rest of them, and this is changing the color now. Locking that red in. That's it. Um, I have my step stool by this weekend. Trying to get this to stop moving that ring light. I have my step stool by Friday, so this weekend I'll post a video for this. So there's more motivation for me to go and get it done. Cause I'm like, let's see if I can get it done by the time the step stool get here. Which I'm in my, um, I said I had 4 sections earlier this week, so I'm in my second part of those sections. If you want to get into this, it's best to use variegated yarn to start. Once you've gotten used to it, then you should venture off into changing colors. I don't know why that you want to go over there. Okay, so all I did was, wrap like I never stopped. Just put me a slip knot on there and just started wrapping again. Trying to keep my sleeves out the way. I was looking for the pen. I don't know why. I was looking for the pen over there somewhere. Y'all have about 30 more minutes. Let's see if I can do a race against time. See how much I can get done in 30 minutes. I'm tempted to make me uh, a cardigan, a little short cardigan like this. That'd be cute. My mind is going because I have a. We have homecoming coming up soon, and it's red and black. So I'm thinking about maybe I'll make me a little crop top. Uh-oh, bumping stuff. Seems like every time I use the red, it always gets tight over here in this corner. that red heart be giving me the business. So I wanted to knit that out so fast. I almost messed it up. I'm on such a race against time. I don't even want to take a drink, take a sip of anything. I drink some after I get off live. I know once I get off live, I won't be doing anything else to it. I'm trying to get as much done as I can. Not really. Just nothing thinner than a number 4. I use mostly number four, but most creators who work on this loom, they use a number six. So if you want to work up something really fast and you're not really interested in four-way yarn, I would suggest a number six. I've tried number five before, but I hated it. So I would do number six, variegated number six. Hi, Pan. I'm doing pretty good. I don't have that much longer, so this would be like my last night having it on live. I use live so I can, be accountable for getting it done and motivated and everything. So I'm almost done with it. So I'm like, it's time to put something else on live. I got about a foot and a half to do after doing. No, I take that back. I'll just say about. It probably not even that much. I'll just say a foot. I have a foot left to do. That sounds about right because the blanket is way taller than me now. Yeah, I got about 15 minutes left. Excuse me. Tuck, tuck, tuck. Thank you. I should be able to reveal it this weekend. I'm getting my steps through by Friday, and I'm gonna have my husband drop it for me. So I should be able to get all that done this weekend, providing the weather is good. Hi, Myra. And my neck is starting to hurt. So that's why I'm glad I cut that time down to 2 hours. I'm making my shoulder. Gosh. Oh. Ooh. Mm. Thank you, Keith. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I'm in that mode, y'all. I'm trying to get. Nah, I'm probably just gonna get one more row in. So, gosh, I can't see what I'm doing, so I kept snagging it. There we go. I got 10 more minutes. So if you're new here and you like what you see, or you've been on here watching and you like what you see, please hit that subscribe button. I normally go live on Mondays, I mean Sundays and Mondays from 8 p.m. Central to 10 p.m. Central. Um, so I will not be back the rest of this week, but I will be back next week. So next week I'm thinking about doing twisted headbands and double knit scarves because if I do either one, they'll last 2 days. So it'll take me 2 days to finish one thing on live because I'm only going like 2 hours at a time. And among that, I do plushies as well. So I make plushies on the loom. I make hats and beanies and baby booties and all that stuff. And I'm trying to branch out into making me some wearables, like some cardigans and sweaters and crop tops and stuff like that. So if you want to watch and come along on the journey as I transition from just making blankets all the time and a few plushies to making more plushies and more wearable stuff and a few blankets from time to time. That's what I'll be doing. And among the plushies I made pumpkins and I've made minions. I made a little ghost before. I made the minion with a little light on it. I made a minion with hair in the dress. I made Kevin. I'm trying to think of the other plushies I've made. Can't think of none right now. I'm getting ready to do some stash jars because it's a request. So this is my last row for live, just as a reminder. Hi, Marta. Thank y'all so much for the likes. Hi, Crochet Queen. Y'all having long conversations. That's good. I'm doing pretty good. How you doing? I'm about almost done with this blanket, so I'm in a really good mood. That's awesome. You want to tell me about it? Oh, that's totally fine, Christine. I get it. I'm dyslexic, so I totally get it. No judgment here. So that was my last row, y'all, or the last stitch. Awesome. Okay, okay, okay. 190 subscribers and a new car. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I'll be glad when we get our car back. We've been down in one car for almost 10 months now. So yeah. And this is just cranberry juice, y'all. So. But I am done for tonight. This is the last time y'all will see this blanket on live. So next time y'all will see it, it will be done. I'm trying to swing it around. So it will be done the next time y'all see it. But I gotta get ready to go in the house because this stuff right here is wild. That's some stuff. That's some wild stuff right there. So thank y'all so much for tuning in. I hope to see you guys on next Sunday from 8 p.m. to 10 Central. You have a good night too. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Hopefully soon, probably within the next month, after October is over, I should be able to start changing my schedule up again and have a more convenient schedule for y'all. Like I have a day where I do it Loom the earlier part of the day and Loom it later at night. So we'll figure it out. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope to catch you guys back here next week. Y'all have a great rest of your night. Okay. Okay, Crochet Queen, I appreciate it. I'm gonna try to give you a sub back. Hi, Dubak. All right, y'all. Have a good one.